Hello everyone. Now we are stepping into phase 2 data understanding, and I like to call this phase knowing your fuel because no matter how brilliant your AI idea is, if the fuel is bad, the engine will never run properly. Phase 2 data understanding is the phase where teams identify, explore, and assess data sources to understand their structure, quality, relevance, and limitations for the intended AI use case. Let me say that in very simple everyday language. This is the phase where we stop talking about ideas and start looking at real data. Not slides, not assumptions, real data that actually exists. Think of phase 1 as choosing the destination. Phase 2 is opening the fuel tank and asking, do we even have fuel and is it clean enough to use? Now, let me show you why this phase is so critical. The official study guide tells us that phase 2 exists to uh, reduce uncertainty about data availability, data quality, and data suitability before model development begins. In simple English, this means we are trying to avoid surprises later. You might have seen teams say, we have tons of data, and then 3 weeks later, realize the data is outdated, incomplete, or spread across 10 systems. I once worked with a company that proudly said they had 10 years of customer data. When we opened it, 6 years were missing key fields and 2 years were scanned PDFs. That discovery didn't kill the project, but it completely changed the plan. Phase 2 is about replacing hope with evidence. Now, watch how this connects to AI performance. Data understanding focuses on data completeness, accuracy, consistency, and bias. Let me slow that down and make it human. AI learns from patterns. If the data is messy, biased, or full of gaps, the AI will learn the wrong lessons very confidently. Think of it like teaching a child math using wrong answers. The child will still learn, but they'll learn mistakes. I once saw an AI model that kept rejecting good loan applicants. The model wasn't bad, the data reflected old human bias. Phase 2 uncovered that problem early before the model ever went live. This phase is where ethics quietly begins, long before any model is trained. Now, let me show you what teams actually do in phase 2 without making it sound technical. Uh, Phase 2 includes data discovery, profiling, and initial validation. In everyday language, this means opening the data, looking at it, touching it, questioning it. You might have seen teams assume column names tell the truth. They don't always. I once saw a column called customer age. Half the values were blank, and some customers were listed as 147 years old. That single column told us more about data quality than any report. Phase 2 is where curiosity matters more than tools. You ask simple questions and listen carefully to the answers the data gives back. Now let's talk about alignment because phase 2 is not just for data people. The official study guide explains that data understanding requires collaboration between business, data, and technical stakeholders. In simple terms, business explains what the data should mean, and data teams explain what it actually means. You might have seen arguments like this field means revenue, and someone else says, no, that's billing. Those conversations are not delays, they are lifesavers. I once facilitated a session where business users explained how data was entered manually during peak seasons. That single insight explained why the AI struggled during holidays. Phase 2 is where shared understanding is built, not in meetings but in honest conversations around data. Now let's gently bring everything together. Phase 2, data understanding, as defined in the official study guide, is about respecting reality. It tells you what is possible today, it reveals risks before they become disasters, it shapes scope, cost, and timelines honestly, and it protects your AI project from fantasy driven decisions. Think of data as fuel. Clean fuel helps you go far. Dirty fuel damages the engine. No fuel means no journey at all. As a PMI, CPMI professional, when you take phase 2 seriously, you become the voice of realism in the room. And that realism is not pessimism, it's professional maturity. Because when you truly know your fuel, every decision after that becomes smarter, calmer, and far more successful. We are going to discuss internal versus external data audit in details in next chapter.